Hello my amazing people, Hamza here and welcome back to the channel. Now there is something exciting that came to the premium add-ons for Elementor in one of their previous updates. And this is actually the Trustpilot widget. And I was like, hey, why don't I take you through on how you can actually use the Trustpilot widget on your Elementor website. Now let's jump straight into the video and get started. So to get started, when I come over here to the Trustpilot review widget or the Trustpilot reviews, I was kind of impressed by the number of options the Trustpilot widget is actually bringing to the table and how seamless it is actually to integrate Trustpilot on your WordPress website. You simply just have to add a domain and you are good to go. Now when you look into some of the demos over here, they are kind of impressive. Something like this over here, you can actually link up different brand reviews from Trustpilot on your WordPress website. You can add an autoplay carousel. You should note that when you want to showcase those reviews on your WordPress website, you won't exceed more than 10 reviews. That's actually a limitation from Trustpilot, but the good thing is that you can filter the kind of reviews you want to display on your WordPress website, even the number of words that should be displayed in each review that is going to be echoed onto your WordPress website. And in this case, I want to show you how you can add this widget to your WordPress website and a couple of styling options. So I'm gonna duplicate this section here. I'll remove this widget which is already existing. So what you have to do is come over here to the widgets area and search for Trustpilot and drag it over to your canvas. To actually be able to use the Trustpilot widget, you need the premium add-ons for Elementor Pro. And just to take you back over here into my dashboard, then to the plugins area, you should actually be having the premium add-ons, the free version installed, and also the premium add-ons, the pro version installed on your WordPress website. And now when we come over here to all the widgets, you realize that I only have the Trustpilot widget activated to use on my website. I do this simply because I don't want to keep code of different widgets running at the background of my website. So I only activate the widget I'm using on the website. So currently I'm using the Trustpilot widget, and you realize it only comes in the pro version. You know, they actually created this document to help you integrate this widget on your WordPress website easily without falling into issues. Anyway, so once you have your Trustpilot widget activated, simply save changes down below here and you are good to go. Then open up any page with Elementor. I already have my page opened up over here in Elementor. Like I've already shown you, we have added our first Trustpilot widget. You realize that by default it echoes the premium add-ons for Elementor brand. So to add a brand or a business name over to this widget, obviously they should have their account on the Trustpilot website. So when I come over here to Trustpilot, I simply just have to search for a name of a business. So in this case, if I say like WordPress, or if I say like Hostinger, which is actually one of the web hosts that I recommend. So Hostinger, it shows up over there, and you realize that the reviews also show up over right here. So what you have to do is very simple. Just come up over here and copy the username they are using. In this case, it's their domain. Copy that. Come back here to your Elementor editor and add the domain name over right here, or their business name that they use on Trustpilot. Now everything is in your hands on what you want to show up on this website. Now in this case, I want to show you how you can only show the business logo or the business image, the business name, a number of reviews, and also the Trustpilot logo, just like over right here. So what you have to do is obviously select your Trustpilot widget, and you are going to come over right here to display options. Then you can choose the skin, but obviously this only applies to if you want to show the Trustpilot reviews. In case you also want to show the Trustpilot icon, which appears over right here, you simply just have to enable this option. But I don't want any reviews at the moment. I only want the logo or the business to appear. And I'm going to come down below here to reviews limit, enable that, and I'm going to say 0 reviews. Boom. We have now only the logo appearing for the brand or the business we want to showcase their Trustpilot business profile. So I'm now going to add our Trustpilot logo over here. So what I have to do is come back here to the business settings, and we are going to say show Trustpilot badge, and over right here it shows up. Now this looks very familiar to what we have over down below here. You can as well change the badge theme and say either you want to use the light theme. So in case you're using the light theme, obviously the Trustpilot logo is going to disappear. So what you can do over here is to change the background of your inner section, since I'm using an inner section in this case. So select the inner section, come to style, and come over here to the color and switch that up. You can as well make changes over here to these wordings over here. Select your Trustpilot widget, come over here to style, and then we are going to head over here to the business info. And we have a container, we have the name, we have the rating. So under the name, we can change the text color of the name, the hover color, and the typography. So in this case, we want to change this to white so that it's visible. Boom, now we have it in white. The same for the red, so we simply just come over here to the text color, change this to our red. And now we have it nice and sweet. We can now position this widget anywhere on our website. We can as well duplicate the number of columns. For example, when I say duplicate, and I also duplicate, and duplicate again. So that means that we can add different brands into these columns. So for example, when I come over here, I change this, let me set to Bluehost. I can come over here, change this to Emotion Host. I can come back over here and change this to HostGator. Just make sure that the brand names we're adding over here are also listed over here on the Trustpilot widget. Just like you see, HostGator's account is hostgator.com, Bluehost's account is actually www.bluehost.com. Anyway, that's how you can finally achieve something not only like this, but something that looks just like this as well. So in the case if you want to add these borders, the dotted borders, you simply just come over here to your widgets, come over here to the container, scroll down below here, there is something called border type. You can say it's going to be a dotted or dashed border type, and you're going to add a small border radius, and then we can as well change the border color type. So we can as well make this white or a little bit, transparent so that it doesn't shout that much. We can as well pad our inner content, so we can say padding, we can give it like 20, and then we can remove the bottom values so that they look a little bit uniform over right here. You can now copy this widget and paste the same style to all the other widgets. Paste style and paste style. This looks actually impressive. However, I also want to mention that the Premium Addons for Elementor has made a template that looks just like this, just like you see over here on their demo site. This is basically a Lottie animation, so don't worry about that. You can simply get it from the LottieFilesWebsite.com. So to get this kind of template from the Premium Addons for Elementor, simply just come back here to your editor, and you are going to add a new section. Then you're going to click over here on the Premium Addons logo, and you're going to just simply come down below here on the testimonials and reviews, and you realize that the Trustpilot widget templates are already added over here, and the one we are specifically looking for is the one that is over here having the brands. Simply insert that. Now you realize that we have this template over right here, and we can simply just copy this inner section and add it anywhere on our website. As well, you can simply come over here and just make changes to the brand names, and you are good to go. So now let's head straight and look into how we can add a testimonial section that looks just like this over here. You can change this to be a review slider or a carousel, and as well you can make changes to the authors of those reviews. So how do you do that? Let me just simply duplicate this section as well. Then I'll come over here and I'm going to delete the Trustpilot widget. So we start kind of from scratch, so I'll delete this section. Now what I have to do is come over here to my widgets area, search for the Trustpilot widget, and come over here too and drag it over here into my canvas. Then I'm going to add the brand that I want to show up over here. The brand is Tesla.com, and Tesla.com is also listed over here on the Trustpilot widget, Tesla. And once you click over there, obviously the Trustpilot reviews show up here. And we're back over here to our editor. Now we have our Tesla Trustpilot reviews showing up on our website. So how can we achieve something like this over here. So first of all, we're going to come and select our widget, come over here to display options, and we're going to first of all change the skin to be bubbles. Bubbles is kind of the same skin as what you see over here. Then what we are going to do is place info next to the reviews. You can say replace the business image. The business image is the logo of the business. I don't want to do that right now. Then under reviews option, you can choose limit the number of columns you want to have. So I only want one column. And there I come. Then I can enable a carousel so that actually these reviews are going to keep flowing through my section or my Trustpilot widget section. I can enable an autoplay, and I can choose to use arrows for my navigation, dots, or even dots and arrows. I'll leave it to be arrows. Then the other thing I have to mention is that you can also enable right to left mode with the Trustpilot widget. And I find this really powerful because so many websites that are in the right to left mode find it really hard to find widgets, especially Elementor widgets from Elementor add-on providers, to have the possibility to enable the right to left mode. And here you have it down below here. You can simply just enable it and you're good to go. Now, down below here into our business settings, we are going to, first of all, disable the business image because you don't want the logo of the business to appear. We only want to use the brand name. And then we want to also enable the rate label. The rate label is this over here. So we are going to say enable rate label. So we can also want to show the number of reviews that are on Trustpilot for this specific brand. So we enable that, and also we want to show the Trustpilot badge. So I show the Trustpilot badge over right there. You can change the badge size and all that stuff. Then the other thing that we are going to go into now is the review settings. You can choose to show the stars. If I disable that, you realize that actually the stars disappear. But why do we even have to show reviews without the star ratings appearing? You can choose to show the name above or the name below, so you can have it something like that. And then you can choose the stars above or the stars below. You can choose to show the full date or actually a specific date format that you want as listed over here. The review text, you can say you want to hide reviews with empty text. You know those reviews whereby you go, someone just goes and just rates and they don't write anything. You can choose to decide and hide empty reviews, and you can as well limit the number of words that appear in the review over here. In this case, I can say I want only to have maybe 8 words appear in the review. You can as well make changes to the read more option, just this over here, and you can as well limit the number of reviews that are going to show up over in this carousel. If I enable that, I can simply type a number over here, but by default Trustpilot limits, like I already said, to only 10 reviews to be pulled up from their website onto your website. Okay, so let's filter our reviews. So we can say we want to filter the kind of reviews that are going to show up over here. We may not want to show 1-star reviews of our brand on our very own website. We can say we want the minimum to be 3 stars. I don't have a maximum, so the maximum obviously is 5. Anyway, now I have something that looks a little bit familiar to this. So what I'm going to do is to align everything to the left, add a background color to our widget, and as well increase the size of the brand names. Now come over here to the style. So for the business info, let me just come over here to the name, and I want to change the name to black. So we can as well make changes to the typography, and the typography of the brand is Poppins is what I used. So I can as well increase the size of the brand name just like this. Under review option, you can make changes to the stars size, that is for the review itself, and as well you can make changes to the background and the radius and of course the margin of your review stars. And under over here, and you can make changes to the name of the person. I can change this to black as well. I don't need the hover color, so I can make it as well black. And as well, you can make changes to the date, and the review container is actually this over here. So what I'm going to do is I'll remove the border type. I don't want a border, and for the background color is going to be white and a little bit transparent. Now you can't see it because we have not yet made changes to the background color of our review widget. So I'm going to select the review widget, and I'm going to come over here to the container, and we're going to change the background color for our container, a green, and we are going to make it transparent. So something like this. Now when we head back to our review container, background color, we can make it a little bit more visible. It's something like that. Now when we come over here to the review text, we can change that to the color that we want. We can make this to be black. And the read more text, we can make changes to that. But me, I'm interested in changing the size, so I can reduce a little bit the size of the read more option. And obviously when someone clicks on the read more, they are taken directly to the Trustpilot website. So we've already looked into the container. Now let's look into the carousel option. How you want your arrows to appear can as well be set over here. And now we're going to look into the preview of what we just set up. This is the first widget and this is the second one we just came up with. I think one thing we are missing is to align this over here onto the left hand side to be just like this. Come over here to the display options. I'm going to align everything to the center. And then I'm going to align the business info to the left. That's how I happen to achieve something like this. And as well, now I can add padding to this container. So select the container, come to style, come down here below to the style of the container. I'll add like a 20, and now you realize that we have padding for our container. In the case we want the same color that is appearing over here, you can just come over here, come to the style, come to the container, and I'm going to copy the same color code, or this color code, come down below here, come to style again, container, then I'll add that color code. Now I'm going to make changes to the review container, come over here to the review container, background color, and I am going to increase a little bit on the background color, so that the review is more visible. Now let's preview our widget. Boom! There we go. We have our brand name with a hover color, and then we have our business info, the Trustpilot badge appearing, and then the review that is appearing over here. Maybe one thing that I think is not showing up are the arrows, and the reason for that is that we limited the number of reviews, minimum 3-star review, and for this brand probably it only has in the last 10 reviews 1 3-star review that can only be fetched. So if we select the widget again and come over here to the review settings and come to the minimum stars, and we actually remove 3 and we put 1, you realize that now we have our carousel arrows showing up over here, or 1 doesn't make any sense. So I can just leave that to the default. So we have our carousel arrows showing up over here. When I update now, come over here to preview, you realize that we now have our carousel arrows show up over right here, and obviously it is auto playing like we set it up in the settings option. So in the case you want to get any of these pre-styled sections, don't hesitate to go straight to the templates option by adding a new section, come to the Premium Addons logo, scroll down below here, testimonials and reviews, and you'll have access to all those pre-made sections by the Premium Addons for Elementor, just like this one over here, that is also appearing on their website, just like you see over right here. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. In case you have any questions or comments, let me know down in the comment box below. If you find it of value, please give it a like. If you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe, because that actually helps me out. Have a good time and goodbye.